Hi, welcome to this demo. This is a demo of our app, the Cadre. Let me show you what Cadre does, and I'll start with Facebook instead of Cadre. So, if you ever had anything that you need in your house, or any service, whether it is a plumber or a water softener, or you want to get some massage or anything, most of us Canadians we go to Facebook, and when you go to Facebook, you will see there are some pains that you go through. A provider, I literally search Facebook with yes, this is available. So here is a provider who has listed a water purifier, and the first thing that he says is yes, it is available. Why? Because when you list something and when you try to sell something on Facebook, uh, you get lots of messages, and the default is yes, this is available. And people just send that message, and the provider has uh, a bunch of messages with people just asking yes, this is available. So there is no qualified customers on Facebook. Similarly, if you are a customer and you want to get some service, some repair done from Facebook, because there are so many providers over there, you will go and search. Say you search for plumber, and when you search for plumber, you will see that you cannot figure out who is a real plumber. Is this a plumber, or is this somebody selling plumbing items? Even if there is somebody offering plumbing services, what is the real cost? $1, $10, $3. So basically, you do not know how much your service is going to cost. It's all ambiguous. The customer has a pain of finding people. They're not even sure if these people are going to be really helpful to them. Are they vetted? Are they criminals? Are they going to run midway of the job? Nobody is doing any lazening in between the two. There is no security, so the providers don't get qualified customers, and the customers don't get providers whom they can rely upon. Hence, we introduce our application. We call it Cadre. Cadre is a solution that we are providing for home services in North America and Canada. So this application, when a customer comes into the application, they have to log in, and then they go into their account. A customer account looks like something like this. Customers will have verified phone numbers. You don't need a verified phone number to log in, but if you want to book a service, then you will have to get a verified phone number. You have to get it verified. You need an email ID to log in. You have payments. You can pay by card, or you can pay simply by e-transfer. You can have multiple addresses. You might be owning other rental properties where you want the service to be done, because this might be home related and not personal service. So you can have multiple home addresses. There are so many things that Cadre does, and there is a support section. Hence, obviously, because a customer, when they're getting our service done, they might have questions, they might have issues. So there is a complete Cadre support. All of that is managed from the profile. The profile also has a notification setting, which is required by the Castle law. How the customer, and we give full control to the customer for each and every type of notification that we will be sending. We will ask for a consent. When you load, it loads with default, but the customer has a way to change it. Now, a typical customer happy path, as may I call it, runs through the app. The customer lands on the home page. The customer can look at the services. There are some discounts going on within the area. So these are the discounts which are targeted discounts offered by the providers who are trying to promote their services, and they are serving the area where the customer is located. These are not random ads, these are targeted ads. And then there is a bunch of things on how Cadre works. So Cadre is protected. You are protected via Cadre. You will get coverage. We have liability coverage. So anything that happens in your house, it is insured. We have vetted professionals, we have vetted their backgrounds, we vetted them for their certifications or licenses, whereas wherever it may apply. We also have for disputes a 48-hour rework guarantee. In obviously this goes through a dispute process. So it's very simple to work with Cadre. Cadre is an application that provides you with a bunch of services. You search through the services, find the one that you're looking for. It's very easy to do. Then you get matched as per your location with a provider which is serving your area for that service, and all you do is hit the book button after building a quote. From there on, Cadre will notify the provider. The provider will start the job. You get notifications and you can track what's going on. There are pictures taken and whatnot, and I'll show you there when we are there. Let's go and try to book something. So let me show you some services that we can book in Cadre. So let me start with deep cleaning. I'm here. I can even go multiple ways. So let me say that I'm a customer who doesn't know what's going on, right? So I'm going to start with my chatbot. I'm going to say, hey, my bathroom is smelly, right? And the chatbot says, sorry to hear that. Could you tell me a little bit more, etc., etc. It stinks from the toilet. Stinks from toilet. Okay, got it. And then it's going to find me the relevant services, quick and easy, conversational also. And I can pick something from here. I can also find something on the app itself. If I've been a Cadre user, these 9 services that you see are based off my habits, and they are based off the purchasing or highest selling items within the Cadre ecosystem in my area and in my region and in my country. So it's a complex algorithm which is working at the back to push these services to me for the ease of me booking them, because things change from season to season, and this is just a user experience that we're trying to enhance. Let's say if I go and click on see all, and then I say cleaning, right? So as I type in cleaning, a bunch of cleaning things come up: yard cleaning, reoccurring cleaning, deep cleaning, barbecue cleaning. And I can be specific. I can even write something which is like smell, right? So it will mold inspection, deep cleaning, etc., etc. Now, let's say if I go for deep cleaning, I can choose, if I have multiple addresses saved, which one do I want to book for. I want to book for my home, and I'll say continue booking. Then it gives me clear-cut, transparent quote builder. So what sort of a cleaning I'm doing? This is my base rate, $129 for and $199 for a deep clean. And my house is, say, 4-bedroom house, and I really want to go into the kitchen. So I'm gonna go and go for inside the fridge, inside the oven. I also want my garage swept. But hey, I also want my basement to be swept. But it's not an option over here. So I'm going to go into this section where I'll say, please clean my basement also, right? So I might at this point, because this is just about cleaning, but there might be a case where I'm trying to get some repair done, and I might want to share a picture with the customer. So I can take a picture right there and then, right, and upload it into the application right there, or I can choose it from my gallery if I need to submit, but there is no compulsion. But okay, let's go forward, and then it now shows me when can I get the service done. Now this whole timetable is based off how many people are serving, how many of them are available for that day on Saturday, And then it's also looking at the schedule. Some of the providers might be working early in the morning and they want to not work after 4 o'clock. Some of them might be working in the evening. So it's taking a sum total of all the available time in my region on that day. And now I'm going to pick up, let's say, obviously it's showing AM and all, but let's go for 4:30 p.m. and I choose a pro. So for that time, for that period, I will be getting matched to a provider. So this provider that I got matched to is a Cadre endorsed provider, which basically means that I have some special perks if I choose them. If there were multiple providers in this, and it can happen, in this screen, I will see multiple providers, and the one which is endorsed by Cadre will be on the top, and it is endorsed with 24-hour cancellation policy and 100% refund, no fees, nothing if there is a problem. Customer can also see the reviews on how this person is, and then you can go review booking. And once you're here, you say, okay, everything is transparent, it's shown right in the screen, and then we would say, okay, let's go. And it also says in the end, sorry, that the additional services that I have given, right, we will talk about them. So let's go and book the service. Now, as the service is getting booked, the system is right now building everything at the back and preparing everything for Isabella, the provider that I chose, to get notified and get the code from. And now they have to accept it. So before we go to Isabella and see what Isabella is going to do from there, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to show you other things in the customer application. So let's see. Let me show you the next screen, which is pros. So this is a screen that we built, or a flow that we built, where the customer is not trying to get something done right now, but this is a future plan of the customer, right? So here the customer is trying to look at one of the providers which are serving their area, and they might want to be getting some repairs done, right? And they are trying to figure out who are the best people. So I'm going to say repair, right? And then see all the people who are doing repair. There is a 5-star review, there is a 4-star review, then there are some people whom I might want to look at. So I'll say, okay, let me look at Marcus. Marcus is a plumber, is doing installs, is doing outdoor repairs, etc., etc. Marcos has a background check, insured, it's a verified pro. We have done the background check. We know that they have a liability insurance. We have checked their certifications, etc., etc. These are the services that they provide. And if I want to look at what people have been saying about Marcus, we can look at the reviews and say, okay, cool, Marcus is a nice person, a handyman. Let me book them. So I'm going to click here, book. And when I click here, it shows what all services are offered by Marcus. So I'm going to say, I'm going to get some service done, let's say lighting fixtures, right? Again, now I'm pushed back into the flow, but here what has happened is that now Marcus is the person, and only Marcus' schedule is showing up, and we don't get matched with anybody else, but we just book with Marcus, right? That's the flow for when you are looking for something to be done later on. We will go into the chat section that you see is the next item, but that'll be when we are in the pro. I'll show you around. Don't want to give you a spoiler right now. So let's go for the next one, which is alerts. So this is a place where all the bookings, all the notifications that you have been collecting and you have not read them are, can be revisited, and you can read through them. Simple, it's a typical thing that an app has. So let's now log in as a provider and see what happens. So I'm going to log out from the application as a customer. Okay, let me show you how to log in as a provider now. So I'm going to go and log into the application as a provider, and I'm going to type in the email ID of a provider that I know. The name is Isabella, the same provider that we got matched with, right? So I'm going to say Isabella at cadre.com. When I do that, the system tells me you are not a provider because I filled in a wrong email ID. System knows who are the providers. So now this is telling me either you are a customer, so you can go and sign in as a customer, try the correct email ID, or apply to become a provider. A provider application is where a provider gives us our first hand information, and then the whole process kicks in where we go, we start a conversation with them, we vet them, we have their background check done, we vet their credentials, and then we onboard them. There are so many other things that you need to be doing with the provider. So now let me go back and try to sign in with the correct email ID, which is Isabella Bella at cadre.ca. The I is capital. Now I'm going to put in the password, and here we go. Now we have logged in as Isabella, and Isabella is a provider, and we landed on the dashboard. The dashboard gives you the snapshot of the day, right? So this provider has already, it's an endorsed provider as we saw earlier. The provider has this first job which is showing up as a new request right on their landing or splash screen. They can see where the job is. They have 4 minutes remaining. Now this is a flow that we're going to talk about in the next 4 minutes. Less than that, sorry. So what happens is that when a customer is trying to get to a provider, the provider might be busy, and we don't want to have the customer waiting. So we're going to give certain amount of time for a provider to respond. And if the provider does not respond, then we send a notification back to the customer where the customer will now be presented with the next best option. And then the customer will try to book again, and this might happen again. And eventually the third step will be where we will be assigning a short provider to the customer without wasting their time. So we don't want that Isabella might not be simply available. They just simply forgot to make themselves offline, right? They might be very busy. They are not able to respond back in time, and customer experience goes bad if they don't hear back in time. So let's say now Isabella is going to say, okay, I'm going to take this job. It's $300. Why not? Now, as we see that there is this job which was not for today, hence it's not showing over here. It will go and it will be showing in the jobs on the 25th. On the 25th, when Isabella looks at their phone, the job is sitting right in the front screen, right? Now, before we go to the job, let me show you what other things do we have. So a provider can run promotions. These are the same promotions that we saw on the customer's home screen. The promotions that were targeted and advertised for the customer, all the benefits that they can have, which are being offered by our providers who are trying to sell faster. So these are completely in control of the provider. The provider has up to 3 for now that they can set in as promotions that they can run on different services that they offer, and it's completely in their control. They also get to see how many people have viewed them and how many bookings have been there. They can keep a simple track of what's going on. Maybe they want to change it. Let me show you how a promotion looks. So there is this big button in the center. I'm going to click on it, and then this is the promotion. So this provider offers this bunch of services, right? It depends upon which provider I'm logged into and what services they're offering. So let's say this provider is right now going to offer some pest control termite service, which is a 10% discount, as well as they're going to include basement treatment, right? Treatment, right? Which is free, and they want to run this for only 1 day. And this is the kind of discount they want to run. And when they say start the promotion is not live, now live. The promotion is now on the screens of all the people who are in the service area of the provider. I'll show you what a service area means next before we go to the job, right? So let me show you what a provider is and how a provider is set up in Cadre. So let me go to the provider profile. The provider, this is the provider. We can see they have a 4.82 rating. Let me see. Uh, what else do they have? They are endorsed by Cadre. They have their background check, insured employee. Their contact details are right over here. These are the contact details that we use for all legal purposes with them. They can edit it, but if they edit it, because this is a provider, right? They will have to, this goes into the admin portal and the admin then approves after checking the change phone number. They cannot change their registered email because that's how they're set up in the system, remember. And they can change their address because address matters, so that we know that real profile providers are in the real area. And that's why the button at the bottom says submit for approval. It doesn't say save, right? So they will be, and then they have a service. What services they offer? They might start offering new services. I'm a provider and I thought I'm already doing cleaning. Let me also start doing duct cleaning. I bought the equipment, everything, and I want to now start offering that to Cadre customers. And then I want to go and click this. It's simple as that, but that doesn't mean that you will get live, right? So you will have to eventually submit it for approval also, because with services comes vetting. If you're offering a licensed service, we will want to uh, look at what licenses you have. If you are offering something which is going to be a different type of contact with the customer, you know, you now are going to visit the customer during certain period of time, or whatever, you're going to visit schools, etc., etc., then we're going to go and check, and hence there's a submit for approval where this new change in the Cadre provider profile is going to go through vetting. Then comes the service area. So this is completely in control, 100% in control of the provider. The provider can simply mark the service area with a pin dropped at the location which they want to keep it as a center, and then a radius, right? Now, once they've done it, this will cause competition. So they can set it up completely in their control, but then again, it goes through the approval process. And then our admin team is going to approve this. Then comes the schedules. This is 100% Cadre professional control. There are two things over here. I might be not feeling well. I might just want to go offline. I can do that. And as soon as I do that, none of the customers are now going to be matched with them immediately within a few milliseconds. I can set up a schedule on when I'm available and what is going to be my service time through what time. And there is no approve button over here. This is 100% provider control, very humane. And then let me see, okay, how I've been performing, just a thing that they might get motivated with, and what the customers have been saying about them. These are the certifications that are on file, right? Some of them you can say are, and this is how we have set it up to show you. Some of them are vetted, verified, and these are submitted for reviews. So these are showing pending. So just submitting, it does not mean that you are now a licensed professional. We are going to vet, and then we will say verify, and then this tag will become live for everybody to see on their screens that yes, this is a licensed professional, licensed plumber. Again, the provider also has some notifications, castle law, and then there is, help and support. Providers also need help and support. Then there is the bank payout. So the provider has to be paid out after the transaction is over, and this is where they set up their bank account. And now let's go and look at the services, right? So I'm going to go into the flow that we kind of stopped in the way, which is our service was booked for the 25th. And this is going to show up on the today dashboard of the provider when it is 25th. That doesn't mean that they cannot see it. If they click on all jobs, they can see all the services, whether they are pending. Pending basically means a service that came to them and they have not yet accepted it. Upcoming, the ones they have accepted. These are all the ones that they have accepted, including the one we just did in the demo. Completed, the one they have been paid for. And then cancelled, the one that the customer cancelled, right? So now let me show you the next dashboard before we jump into what the provider is going to do. We're going to go into the earnings dashboard. The earnings dashboard shows daily earning, yields in the last 7 days to keep a track. And when I click on the last 7 days, it shows me all the transactions that happened in the last 7 days, the service, the total job cost, the total fee. You can see that one of these fee is 26%, the other one is 16%. This is with the one on the top is with the Cadre professional discount. The one at the bottom is a regular service, but then there was a promo running. Then one below it is a completely Cadre fee, which is 16% set on deep cleaning, and I'll show you in the admin area where it is. But this is how they see it. They can export it via CSV. They might want to connect this CSV into their own billing or whatever the income tax system. 30 days total and today. So Cadre is going to pay out daily in the night, every day, all the work that they did, that they completed and they got paid for is going to go into the bank account every night. And it runs at 12 a.m. PST. Now let's go into the jobs. So I'm going to go into the jobs and go into this flow. So this is a job that was booked in the demo as Grace, right? Now Grace, the whole details are seen over here. If I want to start right now, I can start en route, right? And I have this maps where when I start, I will simply start traveling towards the customer, right? And let me go back. Now, because this customer wanted something extra, basement, so I'm going to go and message the customer, right? So I'm going to say, hi, saw the picture, looking at the size of the basement, I will be charging some extra money. Now this will go back and I will have to log out, but we will go back there. This will go to the customer and then the customer will respond and then the response will come over here. And eventually this conversation might lead to be what is the price of cleaning the basement. So I click on the dollar and then I say, okay, this is another $50 extra for basement cleaning, right? And I'll send the request after the conversation. And then this will go into the customer and then the customer will have to approve it before it gets added to the billing. I'm going to show you that. In this area, we also have a call button. The call button, I'm not pressing right now, but this is a call mask button. When the provider clicks the button, in fact, let me show you. There is a call request that goes to the customer. The customer then picks it up. And when the customer picks it up, neither the provider sees the customer's number nor the customer sees the provider's number, right? And then we have the picture sharing where the provider can share pictures. Let's say if they want to show something because they're going to bring something along with them, whatnot, right? So this is a chat area. So this is how it happens. And once this is all done, then the provider will start en route. So now let's go and complete the chat on the customer side. I'm going to log out. and log in as a customer, the customer that we have been using. So you see, when I come over here, now the chat has an indication that there are two pending things to be read. The customer was also notified, right, that there was a payment request, there was a message, and then there was a call to connect. So I'm going to go into the chat, and here's the chat. You can see how it shows up on the customer side. So now the customer is going to either accept it, right? Cool, that's done. And then the customer can also accept this, right? Now this is active, and you can call this number for the next 15 minutes, and you can talk to each other, right? This is a call mask number, uh, and for 15 minutes this is going to have you connect with the provider. But let's go back and now log back as the provider and complete the job. So I'm going to log out. Okay, now we are back logged in as our provider. So let's go back to the chat. Now this is what we see on the side, right? So this same number could have been used by the provider as well as the customer to call each other, and this is now within their reach for the next 15 minutes, and the counter is counting back. Now once the customer is all done and they have all chatted and etc, now we're going to go back and before that, let me show you. So let's say if they want to share their number with the customer, right? So 437-95-1525, it's not going to let them. If they want to share an email ID, test at gmail.com, it's not going to let them. It is smart. It's not going to let the customer and the provider start sharing their contact number and get the job done without the Cadre fee, right? That's the idea. Now let's go back to the job, on the job that we were going for, which was this one, and we have already had a chat. The $50 was approved, and you can see that the $50 is now added to the bill, and now I start en route. When I start en route, there's a notification that went to the customer side. It said the provider is en route. When the provider is outside, they hit I am here. And when they say I'm here, the customer gets notified and they can know that the provider is here, and then the provider is going to do the job. Once provider has done with the job, then they are supposed to provide a proof of work, right? So they're going to load up to 10 pictures. I'm only going to load one. So we loading one picture. Here it's all clean, etc. And the picture is going to get loaded. Until the picture is loaded, you cannot close the job, and then you say mark completed. And now it is all completed. Now at this point, the provider gets to rate the customer. This is kind of an internal thing. Nobody gets to see it but the providers and the admin. This is just us trying to track our customers so that when we are trying to resolve disputes, we have some understanding on whom we are dealing with, right? They can choose to submit or not submit. This edit, which is right now there, is not going to last for more than 5 minutes. 5 minutes after, when we'll come over here for this job, you cannot edit it anymore. So it cannot be that you edit it now and then you go back because you had a dispute and now you can go back and then start editing stuff. No, it's not allowed, neither on the customer side nor on the provider side. So I'm going to log out as this is complete and show you on the customer side. Okay, cool. So let me go and see the bookings. The booking that got all completed. This is a booking, though it's in future, but yeah, so this was the booking. Here, Isabella, the provider, rated 4.82, has completed this. Everything is done. And now, as a customer, I can rate the provider. Amazing work, right? And submit the review. At this point, I can also, again, same stuff. It's not going to let you edit after a few minutes. few minutes because sometimes you misspell, you want to change it, you're having a second thought, but whatever you have to do is to be done in the heat of the moment. You cannot be changing your reviews afterwards. Now there might be another case where they have a review, they have a problem, right? Something was not done properly. So they, at this point, the customer can also go and report an issue where they will say there is a quality issue, the basement was charged, right, charred but not cleaned. And then you can take a picture and then you can submit the picture that the basement was not cleaned, and now this will go into disputes and the administration is going to deal with it. We're going to show you how does that happen, but let's log out. So there is now an open dispute in between Grace and Isabella. So I'm going to log out and then we'll show you about the admin portal. Now let's start with our Cadre admin portal. So this is the admin portal. When you log in, this is a mobile view. Obviously the admin portal is meant to be very, very big eventually, but I'm just going to show you a few things that we have built till now, which are necessary to make some business sense. So when the admin, the top level admin, the one with the highest entitlements, logs into Cadre application as an admin, they first of all they land onto a dashboard. The dashboard has a matrix that shows how the business is going, right? That's one. Then it also has some high number, a wall board showing the average number of bookings, the average revenue, number of providers, how many are there, how many have actually created an account, how many of them are right now online. Similarly, how many customers are there and how many of them are new customers. That means how many of them have been have created a Cadre account in this week, and how many of them are online to see the usability of the application. There are some support requests, 182 of them, which are open. Then here I'm showing an average rating of the application, and then there are disputes. There are so many disputes that you can deal with. So this is kind of a complete snapshot of the business is what we want to show on the desktop, on the dashboard, not the desktop, sorry. So on the dashboard, I will go into the disputes and everything, but let me show you other things first. So here are our customers, right? These are all the customers. It gives you a high level matrix of the customers, how many customers are there, and then what has been the spending, how many of them are repeat customers, how many of them are new customers in this month. Then comes the plan, which I'm going to show you in the end. There are customers who have some special plans, who are special customers. They get special offers because they're loyal to us. What's the matrix about that? And then obviously who have been the highest spenders, etc., etc. Basically data about customers. And then we can also look at the customer profiles from here, right? On what their email ID is, how many bookings they have done, etc., etc. This has to be built more deep so that we can do more maintenance on the customer account. We will eventually be there. Next, we go into the providers, which is the most important part. This is where the providers are getting onboarded. There are multiple statuses on a provider, a pending status, which is basically where we have not approved them, active, which are actively now showing up or getting matched with the customers. The ones that we have suspended because of whatever reason, and the ones that we have endorsed, the ones where we have an endorsement of the provider. I'll show you what that means. How many applications are there, right? So I'm going to say applications. So this is where all the applications are going to show up. The ones that when you fill for a sign up and then you get the documents uploaded, etc., etc., and then you approve them or reject them over here. Now let's go and see what a provider is. I'm going to add a provider. We're going to capture the names. We're going to assign them an email ID, right? and then phone number, right? And then the address of the provider. This will just simply create a provider, right? This is the first step. Now let me go into a provider maintenance area. So this is where the provider maintenance area is. So these are all the provider services that they're offering. They are showing up over here. Uh, then it comes the endorsement. The endorsement or the endorsed providers are the providers which are on a higher tier because of their performance, or they have agreed to share more with us. So this is a provider endorsement where they have, let's say we have gotten into an agreement with them where they want to pay us another 10% fee extra. And by paying that 10% or 5% fee extra, they get endorsed by us and they get to be on the top of the list of match providers with a badge showing next to their name. So this is a provider endorsement. Then comes the certifications. Depending upon what services the provider has selected, the certification area will get populated with the types of uh, background checks or licenses or certifications that might be relevant to the job, and that can be applied over here onto the profile. Then we can see the customer rating, the one that I clicked on has nothing, and the reviews of the provider. This is where we see all the providers. Now let's go into the other stuff, which is, let me show you the coverage map. So this is a high level distribution of all the things that we are doing. How many providers are covering what area of the city? Cleaning, right? Personal care. I'm going to remove some to see. So these are outdoors. These are the kind of numbers that we have in total, right? I can even look for services, only barbecue cleaning, clear filters, barbecue cleaning. So how many barbecue cleaners do we have in what area? What is their service area? This is a view of the for the management. These are all the maintenance tasks, right? There was a Cadre endorsement. What exactly does it mean? That's over here. Then there are new applications, people who have missing contact information. All of that is over here. This is the maintenance area. These are the notifications, which is basically notifications coming from maintenance areas, which an admin might want to do. Then these are services. Services are basically what we're going to do, like cleaning, right? And this also helps you build the quote that you see. What is the fee that we're going to charge? What is the base rate, right? What is a unit label, like bedrooms or number of the area of the yard, etc., etc. Hourly rates. Then this is where we know what is required to offer this service. If there is a service, what all applies. If there is a gas technician, then this is required. And when we say this is required over here, the person who selects gas technician will now need to submit, because that will show into the provider screen that this guy either needs to show up or get vetted with their gas license, stuff like that. So this is the service maintenance area. These are analytics. I don't want to go there. Reviews is the sum total of reviews. These are the support tickets. So these are the support tickets, right? Where people have asked questions, and this is kind of tier 1 incident reporting in a way. We try to mock that over here, where people are trying to ask questions and we're trying to resolve them. These are disputes, right? These are disputes. Remember, we created a dispute, right? With those guitar pictures. So this is where that dispute is going to get resolved. Now we have the picture, we know the job, and we're going to resolve the, by either offering a discount or escalate it further for a full refund, stuff like that. Now let's go into other places. This is right now my interact reconciliation, because that is going to be automated. But for now, I'm playing with this over here. For reconciliation, this is eventually going to become the reconciliation area. This is the accounts. These are the accounts of customers and providers, right? I can lock them. I can reset their passwords from here. This is again maintenance item. There are audit logs, obviously, for all types of events that are happening. And these are business related rules. So this is where we're going to have more and more maintenance uh, for business rules, like, provider response time, customer response time, uh, customer notifications, right? So this is like, I can push in a notification. I want to say, okay, today Cadre is offering 5% additional discount, and I send to everyone or to all the providers. We can send that, we are going to do some new drive, or let's say a new promotion is going to run, so get yourself prepared by 12th of July or something like that. So these are system wide notifications that an admin can send. Now, admin area, this is what we have till now. We're going to build more and more on it. This is still work under process of development and enhancements. Uh, this area is going to become a support and administration level uh, back end office for the application. Okay, so now let me show you the last part of this whole demo, which is, remember we talked about customer and plans and whatnot. So here I'm going to click on basic. This is the basic customer plan, which gets applied or inbuilt into the customer profile as they log in or they create their account. The basic profile basically means that you're going to pay standard booking fees, which means that when you are getting something quoted and there is a visit, which is needed for the quote, because the nature of the service is that you pay that fee, which is standard. You get a standard support, which is as per the SLA that they're going to sign, which is typical support that every customer gets in Canada, America, from their providers, for dispute resolution or answering, or getting priority booking or whatever is not going to happen to you right now. Then you can obviously access everything, right? That's what they do. Then we have, for the price of just less than $1 per day, which is half a cup of coffee, even smaller than a small double double, where you get a 20% off on your first booking straight up. That means if you're paying me $30 for the plan, 20 are reimbursed in the very first booking that you make. So actually it's going to cost the customer only $10, as we said. There is free cancellation up to 24-hour, etc., etc. Then there is a gold level plan, and the customer can select how much they want to pay. This is going to help us retain more and more customers and give them value for the money at a very small price. That's the idea. This is right now in talks. This eventually is going to be probably different than what it looks on the screen right now, but the whole idea is to keep holding our customers and giving them good service. So this is plans, where customer can simply select a plan, and obviously when they select a plan, they have to sign up for it, which happens on an email, and they will get an email, and then they will have to say okay, and then it gets applied to it. That's the customer plans. So here we're going to end our demo. I hope you liked and enjoyed this application. Cadre is there to serve. It's there to serve everyone. Thank you.